Where is David Gale?
Good afternoon.
Afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
It's a good afternoon, isn't it?
It's fantastic. What nice. A fantastic day.
Good. I like to hear it, my friend.
How are you doing? Oh, be careful. Be careful wherever you are. Have you got safety equipment on?
Oh yeah. No, my shoes have special platforms that are bolted to the platform I'm on.
Okay.
Which is secured by a helicopter above me. So it's all going to work out. This is another beautiful shot from Kyle of K2 Media. I just like featuring his stuff on the show as well. Because behind my head, which is really in the way, is this beautiful sunset. Anyway.
I want to meet Kyle from K2 Media.
He's a cool guy.
That's pretty nice stuff there. So
I actually, where I met him was Stavely. Last summer he had a display of photos of Stavely and I think he had some Nanton, and I was like, oh, we need a fellow like you. So I bullied him into being friends, and now we get to do stuff together. That's how it works.
I want to bully Kyle. Remember, that's a segment on the show now.
Bully someone into being your friend today. We'll teach you how. It'll be great. So real quick, can we just talk very briefly about the Jays? What happened? I was all excited.
Oh, man, you do not want to open up that can of worms with me.
We'll just close the lid.
Do you want to? We might as well just. I see we've got Rob on the show today. We might as well just tell Rob to. Let's do it next week, because if you want to talk about the Jays,
no, we can't.
I have taken up the entire show talking about that.
That's good to know. We actually, getting Rob was not easy. Rob's agent said he's very busy. And Rob has been he's been very busy. He's won a couple of awards recently that we're going to talk about. I actually specifically didn't want to know about the content of what these awards are about. I want to be surprised about them as well. And I know he's a local hero and a national treasure. So
I got to meet him like in the flesh.
Really?
I was setting up a system at we're going to have Raymond's on Good Morning Nanton Live tomorrow. So we set up a system so they could play the radio station in their restaurant, or music and off the TV or whatever. And Rob was actually having some lunch there, and he came up and said hi, and so I get to meet him in the flesh.
Nice.
I think that was Rob. I'm hoping that's the same guy, because that would be embarrassing if I just said all that. It wasn't him.
He's super nice guy, super personable, and we have this guy on. He's like, that's not him.
Yeah, that's right.
It's a totally different guy.
But I'm pretty sure it was.
Okay.
I'm confident. Yeah. Does that sound confident? I think I'm confident.
I think that you will cover. If it wasn't Rob, it wasn't
somebody posing as Rob. That's how popular he is.
Have you ever been mistaken for someone else, or had someone approach you thinking you were someone else, or done the opposite, where you get into a conversation and you're like,
Charlie Sheen?
Actually,
no, I don't see that. I have. People have said you look like Charlie Sheen when I was younger and lighter.
Okay. Yeah.
Didn't have as much weight on this face. Anyway.
I can believe it.
Probably now it's a fat Charlie Sheen now.
Nice.
So it's but that's who I was mistaken to be.
Wow. No, that's good. I've never been mistaken to be a celebrity, so that's
no. Oh, okay.
That's pretty good. So before we get to talking to Rob, hopefully the same Rob that you met, I see there is a karaoke track hanging out in the waiting room.
This is I was excited about the Rolling Stones one we did last week.
You really were. I loved how excited you were. It's a great song.
I shouldn't say any more, because I introduce it this way, so I shouldn't just double up the way I'm introducing it. So we should just let the video play.
That's it. We're just gonna go. Okay.
Just do it.
Let's go.
Rob needs to hear this while he's here. Come on.
He does. Here we go.
Welcome to the show. Okay, it's time for some more karaoke. A little entertainment to open up. So this one, last week I did Rolling Stones Angry, the brand new Rolling Stones song, and that was probably the most excited I've ever been doing a karaoke song. But this might top that.
What?
Because Tracy and Dale, now I'm not sure if it was Tracy or Dale or Tracy and Dale, they had suggested a song that it was honestly has left my mind, forgot about it, and then they brought it back into my life. And this song is one that I grew up on. The family sang it all the time when we were young. Excuse me. Got to clear the throat. Just if I'm going to sing, I got to clear the throat. So,
makes sense.
So I'm
Makes
excited to
perfect sense.
do this one. So thank you for the suggestion. And Tracy and Dale, we are now going to sing Mac Davis. Oh Lord, it's hard to be humble.
Wow.
So I hope everybody can sing along and enjoy it. Here we go.
Well, let's see if anyone comments on this.
So I'll be interested to see.
Because it's, you know.
Back a few months ago, I was headlining at
Oh, yeah. You know what? So I knew that was going to do that. So we're actually going to skip forward here a little bit because that was an editing mistake.
Whoops. Well,
So because I wanted to do that one. Now, Jason, now as we get ready to go on this one, I want Jason to actually, oh my goodness. I want Jason to, hold on one second here. Is there a problem with this video? Oh my goodness. Is there a problem with this video? I think there's a problem with this video.
Oh dear. That's okay. That's all right.
So you know what? Now I've introduced it.
Yeah.
Now we're going to have to redo the whole thing for next week, and people are going to tune in for next week. I was going to tell Jason that I want him to do this on our show, but now he's got to wait. He's got to wait 1 week because I have to redo that video. And now the anticipation is going to be even bigger and probably good for Rob that he didn't get to see that video. So now, Jason, I want you to be able to do that one on the show, but not till next week. You got to wait for me to do it. Okay. That's it. That's it. That's all I'm saying.
I love the buildup.
And now everybody knows what it is.
Yep.
So next week you get to see it.
That's great. That's good pivot.
Wow.
Thinking on your toes.
Okay.
Cool. That was
now's a good time. Yeah.
Now is a good time. That was that's good.
Rob in.
It's good to be agile, Dave, and to show versatility, which are all the qualities you need to be an excellent person to work at a newspaper, right?
Yes.
So we're going to
absolutely need that
into our first guest. Silky intro for Rob Vogt. I'm sorry, Rob. I didn't have anything more than that for you.
Oh, that's all right. That's all right. I was hoping for maybe It's Not Unusual by Tom Jones there, Dave.
I think I already did that one, actually. So I'll pull that one out of the archives, but not for next week, because next week, now everybody knows what song I'm doing. Yeah. So next week, it's got to be this one. So
we still got time. We got time. Rob, thank you for joining us on the show. I know we've been talking about getting you on the show for about 15 months, and it finally happened because you're a busy guy. For folks who don't know who Rob is, Rob works at the local press. He's a reporter. He is a photographer. And Rob, you've been with the paper for a long time. I think everybody in town knows you. You're at every single event with your camera and a notepad. And he speaking of connecting Claresholm, the man truly does connect Claresholm and has done so in print for a long time. So Rob, what is how did you get into the business? What was sort of your path into journalism? I guess would be the.
Well, you got to be crazy first, right? So there's the crazy. You got to do crazy, and then Rob, go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have a very understanding spouse, which I do. It's kind of funny. It all started when I was in high school. I always wrote since I was very young. Wrote stories. I used to actually watch Blue Jays games, and I know that's a taboo topic, but I'd write the stats. I'd write the stats off TV, and then those slowly turned into stories, and I kind of did that all growing up. And then when I was in grade 12, I was really, really mad about something that I saw on a front page challenge. I don't know if you guys are old enough to remember that on CBC on Friday nights, but my high school guidance counselor said, "You know what? Why don't you write a letter?" I said, "Write a letter? What? I was 16, and it's like, write a letter to who? Write a letter to the editor." So I actually did, and I wrote a letter to the CBC, and he said, "Oh, can I get a copy of that?" And I said, "For what?" He goes, "Oh, no, I'm just writing my memoirs, and you're a student of mine, and blah, blah, blah." And I thought, all right, whatever. So then we would get the local newspaper every week, and all of a sudden I open it up, and there's unbeknownst to me, he'd sent my letter to the local newspaper, and they published it. And so that was my foray into newspapers. That would have been 1986. And then in the small world we live in, when I came to work in Claresholm, the fella who owned that newspaper in my hometown, which was Coaldale, owned the paper here.
Oh.
So it became this kind of, the circle was now complete, eh? But
that's very cool.
Yeah. So, but amidst all that, I went and did a bunch of other things for a long time, and then worked in student services and at colleges and universities, student residence. Did that for a career for a long time, and then I was kind of one of those guys, 28. My job ended, went to live with my parents in their basement, and Mom said I should probably get a job at some point, and so I decided to pursue my writing. So I went to journalism school and in Lethbridge, and then from there I got a phone call just out of the blue after my first year from the guy who owned the McLeod Gazette, and he said, my reporter just left. Did you want to come work for us? And I said,
wow.
I'm not done school. I have another year to go. Oh, no, you need to do a practicum. Why don't you do that and just see how that goes? But, all right. So while I was preparing for that, I got another call from the Lethbridge Herald, and they were putting together a publication called the Student Survival Guide. And since I just finished working at student residences, I had tons of tips on how to help students survive. So I put that all together, wrote about, 15, 20 stories for that. And then I went to work at the Gazette, and then he decided to keep me on. So for my whole second year of college, I ended up commuting to Fort Macleod every day after going to college every day, and did the kind of live two lives. And then the paper got sold, and they were looking for to go in another direction. And luckily there was a job in Claresholm, and I got that literally a week later, so I didn't miss a week of work. And
wow.
As I like to joke, I made the shortest move in our industry that you can, from Fort Macleod to Claresholm. So.
That's right. That's right.
And then that was, and my first day at the Claresholm Local Press was September 10th, 2001, the day before the world changed.
Really?
Ooh.
Yeah. So it ended up being a real eye opener, and I met a lot of interesting people at a really interesting time in history. Because I think it's like, when Kennedy was shot.
Yeah.
Or blew up, we kind of all remember where we were, right?
Wow.
I was starting my new job at the local press. So.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Holy smokes. And so
Alec,
you've been there.
Alec, where were you when Kennedy was shot?
We're actually right here. It's weird. Very strange that you mentioned that. I was sitting here.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Glad you asked.
Sorry, Alec.
I knew you were going to ask it. I could see it in your eyes. That's
okay.
Good.
Go ahead.
So, Roz, you've been there for 22 years.
Yeah.
You recently won, there's a couple of awards. Maybe it's many awards. Can you talk about what that event was about?
Well, it's kind of funny to say that, because you guys are both journalists too, right? That you don't like to talk about yourself as much as you like to talk about other people. So, I actually have been lucky over the last year to win about 4 or 5 different some recognition. So, I'm not really sure which one you're speaking about specifically, Alex. So
hold on, there's so many awards.
Well, I don't want to sound arrogant.
Rob can't pick one.
Rob, now I'm gonna dedicate the song for next week, the karaoke song, to you.
Yeah, I know.
After saying that.
No, it's like we were the local press recently won a series of awards, and those are the ones that are the most important, because it was our newspaper that was recognized as a whole.
Yeah.
We were the second best newspaper in the country in our class. So, and that's the whole package. That's the advertising, the photos, the stories, all that content. So we were number 2 in the country. The only paper that finished ahead of us was Cowichan Bay, and I was in Cowichan Bay this summer, and I actually read their newspaper, and it's interesting that they're probably 3 times the size of Claresholm. So
wow.
So I think we did pretty well, and
yeah.
And
so
the key, but the key to all of that is the leadership of our publisher, Amanda Zimmer. So and that's kind of, she leads us in that direction, and that's how we won those awards. And within that, we also won an award for the best editorial page, best front page, and we won a 3rd one but they were all about the newspaper, and that's
right.
That's the key, right? So
these awards come as big, heavy gold trophies or something? Is that how they appear?
Well,
are they in a case? You've got a case there or something with all these awards?
They're certificates that came in the mail, so which is all right, and because the local press has a really long tradition going back. Like we were established in 1926, and we spent a lot of time over the years. We've actually been recognized nationally a number of times. So it's just really good to like with, Amanda's been the publisher for just a few years, and being able to carry on that legacy, right, and moving towards 100 years. So it's really, really cool that we are able to do that, eh? And
that's cool.
Yeah, and again, competing against, because newspaper awards are always by populations or circulation size. So it says something that our circulation is where it's at, that we're competing against Cowichan Bay, and like in Alberta, we compete against Tabor and Rocky Mountain House and Brook. Like some of them are cities, and our circulation is the same size as theirs. So,
right.
So we're really, to use a sports metaphor, I think we're punching above our weight.
Yeah.
And that's a huge thing. So
that's cool. And awards can sometimes be tricky because they can kind of skew maybe how you see things or how you see yourself. But I like your balance, because it is important, like you said, as a team as well, to go, how do we actually stack up when they start? Comparison is always tricky, but when you're being looked at nationally within your industry and then recognized within your industry, I think that's important. I know it's tough for you, Rob, to kind of like hang on to that, as like to talk about it, because like you said, you're a behind the scenes guy. You like talking about other people, but it is important too, I think, for the town and for the community to go, hey, we only ever read probably one newspaper, right? We're not going all over the country looking at other newspapers, and it's just nice that we've got a great publisher and a great team at the local press, and we're definitely fortunate to have you in town.
Absolutely. Thank you. I appreciate that. So
how do you report on your winning? How do you report on yourself?
I don't without a byline, that's for sure, because that would be ultra awkward. But it's always hard to wrap your head around that kind of stuff too, because you don't do it like, I've quite a few friends in the industry, although our industry is shrinking somewhat, but I've quite a few friends in the industry, and we always talk about this kind of stuff. And it's like, you don't do it for the recognition, right? You do it for all these other intrinsic awards. Like I grew up on a farm, and that was the other aspect of why I got into this. Is like it's kind of like growing up on the farm, where you work till the work was done. Eh? There's always something to do, and you just put your head down and do it. Eh? And that's kind of how we operate around here. Like there's always a story to be told, and we want to shine light on the people who do good things, right? And that because there's not enough of that in the world, I don't think. So we're really trying to focus on that too.
So how does that? I hope I'm not too controversial on our show here, our family friendly show, but how's the difference between when it used to be, if it bleeds, it leads, to now wanting to cover more positive stuff? Have you seen a shift in the industry as far as that, or is it just the demographic that you're writing to that kind of changes that perspective in a way of how the paper should be written?
Oh, you know what? I don't think it's ever changed, Dave. Oh, and by the way, I am the guy that talked to you at the Chinese restaurant, just FYI. I'm going to bring that up myself too. So I just thought, I'm 53 years old, so sometimes it takes the old guy a little while to get there. But, so I did want to mention that it was you. So,
it was okay, good.
Yeah, so we're good. We're good there. So it's not my doppelganger. So
okay.
It's funny you say that. It's a very good question, but I've never, in my own career, and when I was in journalism school, we never. And community news is a little bit different than the mainstream media and the weekly or the dailies.
Yeah.
And, I don't like to think of it as it bleeds, it leads. I like to think of covering the communities as a continuous story, like a narrative of the entire community. So, I'll use the school as an example, because I talk to principals every time a new one is appointed, and I'll talk to them about kind of what our philosophy is in covering school. But this is the same as with covering the community, which is it's the continuous story. So we'll cover the Terry Fox run at the school, then we'll cover a sports game, then we'll cover maybe someone gets 100% on a departmental, and then if someone brings a gun to school. And then, if there's an assault, and then we go to, the fall extracurricular awards. But the point is, it's a continuous narrative. So you don't necessarily, it just becomes part of the story, Dave.
Okay.
Like it's not strictly, we focus on the negative or focus on the positive, but we focus on everything, right? And as it turns out, there's a lot more good than bad going on in a community, right? So that,
well, I think that, this is just an opinion, and I don't know if you know a lot about my story moving to Nanton, but lived in Calgary for many, many years, moved from Saskatchewan, which is why I'm a Rough Rider fan. I heard you're a Rough Rider fan as well, so that's good to know.
That is not true.
Yeah. We'll mute that part. We'll mute that part. Where's the mute button? So anyway, I would think that the attitude, because you live in a small town and you're very, very interconnected with people, that if you take on that big city, New York style, editorial journalism, and you're going after people all the time, you're not going to last very long in a small town, because that's not what people want. They don't want to feel like, the guy who's covering all the news, which we know very well because he's at all our events, and, it's such a small community. If he's always looking for the negative news to be able to report, then you're just not going to, nobody's going to cooperate. Nobody's going to want to talk to you. It's not going to last in a small town like that. Is that there's any truth to that?
Oh yeah. I always say that that's the biggest accountability and responsibility is that anything that we put out, you can get immediate, instantaneous instantaneous feedback. Like our office is right across the street from the post office in Claresholm here, Dave. So people will get their newspaper, and if there's something in there that piques their curiosity, their interest, or makes them mad or something, like it's literally a 1.5 second walk across the street to my door, right? And the flip side is, we live in this community. My spouse and I bought a house here a couple years ago, and we go to the IGA and the post office and everything. So, and by virtue of always being in the community, there's that feedback loop that's instantaneous, right? So you're absolutely right about that accountability, right?
Now, just to add to that, it's also your responsibility to make sure that you report on important things in the community. And sometimes those important things can be difficult things to report on. And so, then how do you kind of manage that with the community members when it's my responsibility to also report this stuff? It may not make people happy.
Well, it's, your ultimate kind of barometer is the truth, right? And as long as you're telling the truth, and I like to get back to that whole notion of, like if you're always in a school and then something bad happens, they're not going to go, oh, he's only in here when he only shows up when something bad happens.
Right.
Yep.
But he's here all the time, so always doing his job, right? So there's a lot more of that, right? And then and sometimes it's just there's not really a good answer for that, other than you just kind of just get your facts straight, tell the truth, and then just be as upfront as possible. No hidden. There's no hidden agendas here. There's no where we don't need to editorialize. And that's the other thing that I find with we could have a really long philosophical conversation about fake news and all of that. But much of what happened in the United States was journalists inserting themselves into the story and into the narrative and editorializing. And, we try to stay out of that completely. And because then if you're just writing the basic facts, the facts speaks for themselves. It's like the whole notion of libel. The one defense against libel is the truth.
Yeah.
So you tell that you just do the truth, tell the truth, do the best to your ability. And like one of my old mentors used to say, if you can look at yourself in the mirror and go to sleep at night, that's all you can do.
Rob, we got a couple comments here that I think are relevant. Speaking of the truth and reporting the truth, this is from our own community. Huge part of leading a healthy community spirit is your work, which is awesome. Thank you, Garrett. Dave said Rob was one of the first people I met when I moved to Claresholm 2.5 years ago. 100% classy dude. Now, to be fair, you were wearing a shirt that said 100% classy dude when you met Dave Murphy as well, so that might be part of why. And Tracy had Rob so honorable, kind, and balanced. So, I mean, dude, this is some nice reporting from the community about you as a person. Isn't that something? That's why you win awards and stuff, right? So there you go. But it takes a long time. I mean, we met, I think, very early on when I moved here, long before I had a camera doing stuff in town. And every time I see Rob, it's always like we haven't talked about the Roman Empire yet, Rob, but it's coming. But we always get into these conversations. And what I find interesting, if you watch Rob, and I've had the benefit of being able to watch Rob from not too far a distance, because we're usually kind of near each other at these events. he's like a magnet. People come streaming over all the time. He's always in a conversation, but still able to like report and make people feel like they're important and give people time. You'd be very easy to be like, I'm working, back off. But you don't. You take a lot of time to talk to people, and that's why he's a bit of a celebrity. He's also taller than anyone else in town, which helps too. There's Rob.
Yeah.
Let's go find him. Tower of Rob.
I remember I ran into somebody not too long ago who said, that Rob guy from Claresholm works at the local press. How come you don't have him on the radio station? And I went, I don't know. And we have this new segment on the show now that's called Bullying your guests. And so this is where we bully Rob to be on the radio station. So I've got a spot here for you. So yeah, you're gonna come onto the radio station and be a radio host now too. So let's do the news there.
I think Rob would be great at it.
I think so too.
Great at it.
And then we'll just go and head over to have lunch over at Raymond's all the time. So
I missed the buffet that day, so I had to order off the menu, which was a real treat too, because they weren't. I ordered for two, and they didn't quite get that. So they're like, "What
really?" They're actually very generous there, so they're very nice people.
Very kind.
That's awesome. Yeah. So Rob, I got one question for you before you let you go. Is there something that you haven't done in your career that you would love to do? An opportunity that would be something you haven't done where you're like, ooh, I think I'd really want to do that.
Well, ultimately the ultimate goal for me is to publish books, and so I'd like to actually, I've always got, anyone who spends any length of time with me will get sick of me, tired of talking about this book I'm writing or that book I'm writing. So to publish a book would be is the only thing that I haven't quite done what I've wanted to. So and like I've also wanted to write one about community journalism and a lot of this stuff we're talking about here, right? Because I think it's becoming a lost art.
Yeah, he's not laughing at you, just to be clear. Well, he might be, because Dave also has sometimes a hard time controlling his emotions. But I believe he's laughing at this next comment. Is that where you're laughing at, Dave?
I'm laughing at that.
So Carmel's like, yo, Rob. I like yo, first of all, from Carmel.
Yo, Rob.
Yo. Musical theater. Now, I'm not sure if she's... I'm going to take a guess here and say that she's asking you to write something for musical theater.
No, she wants to hear him sing in musical theater on stage. We want to get Rob on stage singing in musical theater.
It could actually be either or, because I've known Carmel for 20. She's one of the first people I met when I moved to town. But I have actually written a high school musical in my previous lives. And and I remember I ran into a guy I grew up with, and he was in Claresholm for a golf tournament, and he asked me about it. He goes, "Hey, did you ever do anything with that play?" And I said, "No, I'm surprised you remember it." And he goes, "Are you serious, man? It was High School Musical before High School Musical." And I said,
"Oh, wow."
I said, "Not really. No, it was." Although, and you'll appreciate this, Alec, it was all about the '80s.
Nice.
In the high school.
Yep.
And and I've shared a lot of that with Carmel. So it could be that, but you're probably right, Dave. It's doing a little Tom Jones on stage as well.
I think so.
Nice.
How about a duet, buddy? Maybe Carmel will let you and I duet together.
Listen, guys, that hall is only so big. It's going to need to be multiple performances to get everybody in, because that feels like sell out every night. I can tell you that right now. My instincts are that's going to sell it every night. Rob, I know you've got a busy schedule. Man, do we appreciate you coming on the show.
I hear so much about you, Rob. Thank you very much for being here. It was a pleasure to meet you in person the other week there. So thanks for coming on and talking about this, and congratulations. Really serious. Good job.
You're doing awesome things, my friend. Right. Did we miss anything? Oh, and happy newspaper week, folks. It's newspaper week.
Yeah.
Is it?
National. Is it national? It's a national newspaper week. Yeah.
Newspaper week?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Well, it was in the paper. Yeah, there you go.
Great time to have him on then.
Pick up the paper.
Community without a newspaper is like a community without a soul.
Yep. There you go. Mm-hmm. That's a good one.
That's the quote that's on Newspapers Canada. So thanks, guys. Appreciate it very much.
Outstanding, Rob. Appreciate it. Thanks, buddy.
Later,
have
Rob.
a good rest of your day.
See ya.
Awesome. Dave,
So
I
cool.
say it. I said it many times. We have guests on. You never know quite where it's going to go, but man, do we learn stuff. We learn some stuff about people.
Absolutely.
We learn about industries. Like, it's great,
Oh, it's so cool, and this is why I love this medium so much. So newspaper has its place, radio has its place, but having a show like this, you really get to learn people's personalities, who they are.
Yeah.
It's so neat that way, and that's what I appreciate about having a little show like this.
It's cool, and it's cool that that we get folks on that have these great stories and have. We get to learn a bit of the history of, where people come from and how it got started. And I like that he mentioned Amanda being the publisher there. She's been at the press for a long time, took it over a few years ago, and to continue to keep that legacy going winning awards is winning awards, but it's important.
So just to clarify, because I don't know, so I'm kind of ignorant. So Amanda worked at the local press before she took it over then?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, so do you know how long she was there for?
I don't want to guess. At least we've been here almost 10 years, and it's at least that long. It's probably quite a bit longer.
Good.
So if someone's listening and can correct me. But yeah, she's been synonymous with the press ever since we moved here, for sure. And,
nice, very nice.
Yeah, and they've got some cool stuff in the back. So the office looks kind of small when you walk. It's an office, but then in the back is where all the action happens when you go past Rob's office. And they have some original equipment, I think, from back in the day, like where you put the individual letters down. And I'm not going to guess what it's called, but it's really neat back there. It's a cool space and super friendly people. And let's not forget, we've been talking about the press. Brandy McLean's been there for a long time too, and she's awesome. She's lovely. She's very helpful.
Have I met? I don't know if I've met Brandy.
You have,
McLean.
yeah. Brandy and Jace he's our director of infrastructure now in the town. And
Jace. Oh yeah, okay, I remember Jace. Yeah,
there you go. So no, it's and then Trevor's their designer there. So it's a great team, and it's awesome people. You walk in, and it's they're always willing to help and friendly, and they do. They also act as like a print house too. So if you need things printed, you can always go to the press as well. So
I saw a promo for that.
Hugely important. Dave Murphy has a really good point here that my hands keep disappearing, like he's stuck in 1985 trying to get his parents to meet.
Hot tub time machine.
Look at that.
There he goes.
My arm
there he goes.
Disappeared into time, and now it's back. It's it's not a perfect technology we're working with here. This might be the comment of the year so far. Yo, Rob, musical theater.
I love that.
It's great.
I love that.
Oh, that's funny.
And it's very hard to get me to laugh.
Yeah, right.
That's you got to have a good one to make me laugh.
It's true. You are like a stone, like an Easter island. Just sometimes we can't tell if your video's frozen or if you're just not laughing.
That's right. You know what I just noticed? Now we're talking about laughing. I just noticed I'm starting to form more of that old man laugh.
Oh yeah. That
you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Yep. We no one has said it, but this is essentially Statler and Waldorf, just in two different places for the Muppets. But isn't that funny? You notice those things where suddenly you'll laugh and you'll be like, oh, there's a new thing there now. There's a wheeze that I never had before.
Okay, you know what? We got a little bit of time, unless you got something really important you got to get to here. Can I? So yes, Jason, you're right. Getting old, and no, Jason, don't tell me that you've got all this time today, because I've got many other projects I'm going to get you to do. Not running over here with a guitar,
right?
So
nice
I'm putting you to work in other things, in other areas. So here's a question for you now that we're talking about this.
Yeah.
And again, if we've got no time to talk about this, then let me know. Just cut me off.
Okay.
So I've noticed that as I grow older, there's certain things that I do. There's this kind of laugh that when I do it, I go, "Oh my goodness, that is my dad. That is my dad. How did I pick that up?"
Yep.
And it will just come out. I'm watching a show, I'll laugh or something. Go, that's exactly my dad. I just laughed just like my dad. Have you got something like that?
Yeah, 100%.
What is it? What is it? Can I ask what it is? Can we share it?
That's right. It's like I was mean to my kids, and I'm kidding. No, I think there's a few mannerisms my dad has that I've picked up for sure. I'm just trying to think. There's definitely a couple of things that hopefully if Annalise is watching, I'm sure she could chime in with something. But there have definitely been times where, and my dad's from England as well, so there were certain things he would say, obviously that we would pick up on, and that aren't maybe super common. But yeah, I think just joking around with my kids, especially now that they're a bit older, I find that I'm making dad noises like he does,
Oh yeah,
things like that I never did before.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
That's
Jude.
funny.
Oh nice, there she is. Didn't take long. Jude wants you to know you have your dad's nose. I actually don't. That's the thing. My dad has a beak. I have my mom's nose. I'm very fortunate that I have a regular sized nose.
But you know what your dad does have is a great voice. We had him recorded for our murder mystery.
Yeah, he does.
And oh my goodness.
What was funny was I brought him in and I've recorded people before that I know, and that can be quite tricky because 100% of the noises. I think I talk to myself more.
Oh yeah,
for sure. Like I'm mumbling more than I have when I was younger. I'm definitely doing dad mumbling. Where did I put the keys? I had the thing. Why is that over? Why? Who would put that there? Now? Just a constant stream of thoughts. And I've completely lost my train of thought. So there you go.
That good segue into losing your train of thought.
Right. Yeah,
on your
that's another thing. That's another thing. I walk into rooms and I go, why am I here?
That's not a dad thing though. Everybody does that.
I think
I've done that a lot. A lot more recently. A lot more. I walk into rooms, go, why was I coming here?
Yeah.
I can't remember why I was coming here.
Have you had the experience where you've seen a picture of your dad at the age you're at now?
Yes.
And gone, oh wow. Oh
yes. Yeah.
Like my kids are at an age where I'm like, you guys will remember when you get to my age, you'll remember me at this age. Right. And that's kind of an interesting thing too. It's a bit of a funny transition.
Yeah, it is. It is interesting seeing yourself at your dad's age.
Yep.
And and then comparing, you know,
yeah,
my dad owned a house and had a family and all this, and look at me, look where I'm at.
Yeah. Oh,
this is not good.
I don't know what I'm doing. Or I can talk to him about like when like Christmas time was a good example a few years ago when the kids were younger. He was over and I was just exhausted. And it was like, if you've ever seen National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, there's a scene at the end between Chevy Chase and his dad. And it was kind of like that. I was like, were you wiped by the time you got to Christmas Eve? And he was like, yeah. He's like, every year. It was absolutely, and I was like, I don't remember that. And he went, good. Like, we did it right.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly.
We did it right.
Annalise is commenting again here. This is a good one. You lose as much stuff as your dad.
I don't know. I don't know if I do. He's lost.
You don't agree with that?
I don't think so. I don't know. He's lost. But he would lose things like he could lose a mattress if you left him alone long enough. Like he would lose big things. But he would also lose like car keys and things would go missing all the time. But he would kind of like, just walk. Like he wasn't. I'm more bothered by losing things than he was because he would have multiple copies of them as well for that very reason.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I haven't. I when I was younger, and I'm sure this is an age thing as well. When I was younger, I always lost my keys. I always lost my wallet. I always lost, important stuff. As I've gotten older, I've become much better at it. Oh. And now it's got this weird shift where if I do lose something, I don't panic because I just know, I know where I was. I know I'm going to find it. I know, and it just shows up. It just always does. So it's like now in my older age, I manifest finding lost things.
Isn't that something?
And I can do it. So
wow.
Yeah.
You should come to my house because things go missing here all the time.
Do you think it's something I should start charging? Can we promote it on the show as like a new service I provide?
100%.
Manifesting lost items for people?
Why not?
Okay.
Just add it.
I'll do that.
Add it to the show.
Sure. Let's see. I've gotten much better at losing things too. Yes.
Yeah.
We all have.
But what's funny is like things that are constantly with you. If I put it down for a minute and I don't look at it and go, it's on the counter, dum-dum, it'll be an hour. An hour will go by.
Okay. Now this leads us to, for some reason, and again, it's like you can manifest certain things if you have that confidence and that ability to do that. Or then the opposite, as far as losing things, I've always claimed that I'm terrible when it comes to construction. I'm terrible when it comes to, anything with wood and a hammer and nails and screws, anything like that. I will put something down somewhere while I'm working on it. And 2 seconds later, I will look around and go, where's that hammer? Where'd the hammer go?
Yep.
How did I lose the freaking hammer? I just had it right. I was just hammering something.
Yeah.
and I will look for the rest of the day for a freaking hammer, and then I'll have to go buy a new one at the hardware store.
Yeah, you go and buy another one. That's how it works. That's why I'm in the same boat, my friend. I don't bother. No, look, I'm gonna segue here for a second because here's the thing. So speaking of losing things, we all lose things all the time, whether it's pens, erasers, hammers, face cream. Sometimes
face cream. That's right.
People can lose face cream.
Sometimes you need to go and buy some new face cream.
Whatever it is that you are missing, because it happens to the best of us. And Dave, I consider you and I to be amongst, it's coming. I consider you and I to be amongst the best of us. We're going to get to our sponsors who can help you when you've lost things, and you have to go and find them. And probably the first place you want to go and start.
Where's that?
Dollar store. Your dollar store with more.
Of course.
Yeah. Because here's the thing: when you lose stuff, you can go to the dollar store, and they have everything from party supplies, balloons, gift cards, gift wrap. They've got stationery. I lose that all the time. Crafts, stuff for your pets, seasonal housewares, health and beauty, cleaning. The list goes on. They're locally owned and operated and proud to serve our community, and they will always look after you with a smile. Whether you're replacing something you've just lost or buying something new, come down and hang out with the friendly staff, and they can definitely set you up. If you need something very specific, you can go straight across to Claresholm Pharmacy. They are also locally owned and operated, and they now carry groceries, including dairy and cudlow meats. I did, in fact, lose 4 gallons of milk once, so you can always go and replace that milk at the pharmacy. Pardon me. They also have a very knowledgeable team of prescribing pharmacists. They're ready to answer all your questions. Who hasn't lost medication, right? You get some medication for something, probably your memory pills, and then you can't remember where you put them. You can always go back and they'll help you out. And finally, you want to look good while you're looking for your stuff, so check out Janet's Fashions on the corner of 50th Ave and Highway 2. They've got men's and women's fashions. They've got their whole fall lineup is in place right now. They've got pants, tops, shoes. Coming up, winter boots. It's going to soon. We're not going to talk about that. If you want to go outside at any point in the next few weeks, it's going to be freezing cold. You can keep yourself warm with some clothes from Janet's Fashions. And a huge thanks to all of our sponsors for helping us when we lose stuff and keeping this show on the road.
Do you know what you just did, which was awesome, by the way?
Yes.
You were totally the announcer for The Price is Right, going from showcase to showcase.
Yeah, right? That's
so
good.
Get the new car. You can get the new car, and then you can drive your new car, too.
There's the laugh inside. It is new. I haven't heard that before. Oh, that's funny. We have to laugh about it. It's like it takes years to develop that note, that laughing note. I don't know what it is. I think you have to laugh a lot to make it happen. That's funny. And once you get this, you can go here, put on your sunscreen, and go there.
Yeah,
that's funny. The showcase guy. I hadn't thought of that.
That's good stuff. Having so much fun. What do we got? Comments coming in here?
Yeah.
Tracy's saying something. Tracy's always got something to say. Having the same features and sayings and laugh as your dad is a great tribute to him. Well, that's nice.
That is nice.
I'll tell you what I did not pick up, because my dad actually is a handyman.
Yeah.
I didn't pick up any of those skills. Nope. No, nothing in mechanics. He's a mechanical kind of guy.
Didn't get any of that.
He can hammer things. He doesn't lose his tools like I do. I didn't pick that up. Thanks, Dad.
Nice, right?
That's gonna be the theme of tomorrow's show now.
Thanks, Dad.
Yeah, thanks, Dad. That's
the things I didn't get from my father, Volume 1. That's good. I didn't pick up the mechanically inclined stuff either. I've got other weird things that I can do, but that was not one. My brother's very good at that stuff. He got all of that. He got all of that.
Brother?
Yeah.
You have a sister? Do you have a sister?
No, I don't have a sister.
Yeah. How many brothers?
Just one.
One brother?
Just one brother.
Goodness.
Yeah.
There's more of you in the world.
I know. He's younger. It's okay. We'll have him on the show sometime. He's a riot. He'll
probably cooler.
He is cooler. He's younger and cooler and better looking.
So. What's Jason say? Laugh out loud, not asking either of you to help me do some construction this week.
Oh no, darn.
I could help you do construction. It's not going to get done, but I can help you.
Yeah, I can be there.
Yeah, I can be there. Yeah. Break open some drinks there and sit down in the lawn chair, help out.
Yeah. That's a good thing to do.
I'm good at holding things. I can hold things for you. So
yeah,
we can do that.
Stand with apparently not the hammer though. No. We're in October, my friend. We're already in October. Halloween is not that far away. We're kind of in the safety zone where we can actually start talking about these things now.
Okay.
And there's some stuff coming up this week in Claresholm that we should
What's going on in Claresholm? Let's get to it.
Stuff. Let's check it out. Uh-oh, you're never going to believe this.
What? It doesn't work?
I've lost all the things. No, there they are. Okay, I found them again.
Okay,
that was
where is it? Let's see the first one.
Panic for a second. So, coming up Sunday, October 15th, 2 to 4, open mic concert at the Claresholm Social Center. You can contact Arnold for more info at 625-5226. There's going to be a concession and a bar. By donation, all welcome. So that'll be a fun time on the 15th.
Is that Gavin? Is that a picture of Gavin? Kind of looks like it might be Gavin.
It does a little bit with a banjo.
A little bit.
I think it might.
That's a good picture.
It is.
A good picture. I want to find out if that's Gavin.
You should.
Okay.
A little further down the road, but still coming up in less than a month, believe it or not, the Handmade Christmas Market, November 4th, 10 to 3, also at the Social Center. Market vendors wanted. Tables are $25. You can contact Dina at 892-5054. This is going to be arts, crafts, food, and fun. This is awesome. It's coming right up. Volleyball is starting again on next Wednesday, October 11th. Skills 7 to 8, and drop-in starts at 8 o'clock. And this goes from October until March. So if you have no experience, if you're an amazing player, show up. They'll put you on a team. They try to keep everything balanced. Great group of people running that. So if you're a volleyball fan, definitely go and check that out. Dave, you're going to like this. There's a meat draw coming up, 5 turkeys and 5 hams. Coming up next on the 7th, happening at the Legion again. Doors are at 2, draw starts at 3, so you can maybe score yourself a Thanksgiving turkey or Thanksgiving ham.
Duck races.
And there's duck races.
Yeah. Wow.
So that's on the 7th. A few days later, line dancing, I believe, also at the Social Center. Members $3, non-members $6. All are welcome on October 10th, 6:30 to 8. Learn how to line dance. That's what I hear when I see that.
Yeah, exactly. That's what you hear.
A couple more things. We've got on Halloween, downtown, bring your kids, 10 to 5, for spooky businesses. So a lot of businesses are starting to decorate. Keep that going. I like the ghost vibe in the background. As long as I don't take this away. Oh, dear. Okay, that was weird.
Why did you do that?
Sorry, we shouldn't look behind the curtain.
It's like Emerald City.
It was like Emerald City. Very good. Watch for a list of businesses participating in the town of Claresholm on the Facebook page and the local press. Livingston Range School Division. I really love this program, the Homestay program. If you're interested in hosting kids from other countries, you can get in touch with Yolanda at 360-6316, or just check out Livingston Range online. I'm sure they have a Facebook page as well. Fantastic program where kids from another country come over and you take them in for anywhere from a few weeks to a few months or the whole school year, and you're reimbursed for that time. And you can go and learn about, other cultures and whatnot. It's an awesome little program. And finally, we talked about this last week. This is very exciting. Coming up in a few weeks, Saturday, October 28th. Keep doing the ghost sounds. I won't take the board down. Saturday, October 28th, 5 to 8 p.m. And Sunday, October 29th, from 3 to 6 p.m. Haunted House is back, sponsored by your dollar store with more, and they will be accepting donations for the Claresholm Skate Park. The Claresholm Skate Park. It's gonna be fun. I don't know what that was. There's gonna be ghost pigs.
No
apparently.
scare hour. My favorite part is the no scare hour.
We were talking about this last week. So from 3 to 4,
it's amazing.
On the first night, and I believe from 5 to 6 on the second night, you can go through. If you don't want to be scared, if you're with your kids and you don't want things jumping out at them and scaring them, but they want to have that Halloween experience, like you and I said last week, I haven't heard of it before myself. Very brilliant, and all in support of the skate park. So it's a really, really important thing to be supporting. I know they've done the food bank in the past. That's their charity this year. So go and check them out on the Saturday and the Sunday before Halloween.
It's okay. We'll talk about Foley next week.
Yeah.
Okay, so I did actually research a little bit of that no scare hour.
Oh yeah,
just because I was curious, like that idea must exist in other places. Like it really is very rare actually. Oh. So and I'm making that assumption based on Google. Yeah. So I just Google and no scare hour and haunted houses, and I found a few places around that had that, but not a lot. There wasn't a lot. So yeah, I'm wondering that I would think that is something that would catch on to more, of these haunted houses in the future, very, very near future, we catch on, and more kids will be able to go in and enjoy it, because there's it's not just young kids, but kids with sensory, issues and things like that. Right. So those kind of kids want to be able to enjoy it as well. And they deserve to. They absolutely deserve to go 100%. In and have the fun. And the people who built the haunted house put all that work and effort into it just to have these kids not be able to go into it because maybe they don't like scary things, or they have some sensory issues or anything like that. Well, now these kids can go and enjoy it as well. Opens it up to everybody.
It does. I know adults that don't want to be scared, right? That are not, that would maybe avoid these things or won't have that experience, just to not have to sort of deal with something jumping out at them and scaring them like that.
That's right. Like that. Exactly.
So I don't know if Lauren knows I'm still using that photo, but
does she know we still do a show?
I think she does. Yeah.
Does she? Okay.
Yeah.
Does she,
Oh, definitely.
Tunes in every once in a while and says hi.
Okay. She does. Yep. She's a busy young lady.
Awesome.
Now I'm sure in Nanton you've got stuff happening as well, as you always do.
We do.
So please share.
Okay. Well, let's take a look here. First of all, if you guys ever want to tune into the show, it's a Saturday morning. So tomorrow morning, I broadcast on 8 various Nanton social media channels. We also broadcast on our website, euroradio.ca, and on our YouTube channel. And tonight, I'm really super excited about this, because tonight we've got the Palominos playing the ex-Palominos. So it's kind of like an exhibition game before the season starts.
Nice.
And so they're going to be playing some of the old timers. Is that what they call them now? The old timers?
Like what are they, like 26 or something?
Something like that. Yeah. The 26-year-old old timers. So they're going to be playing them. And so we're going to be doing the broadcasting, and we're going to do updates, of course, on the show tomorrow, and make sure that everybody is up to date on what happens with the Palominos. We'll probably get lots of video. We can show that, and I'm sure it's going to be a good time. The current players, so our future stars of the Palominos, are going to be doing a meet and greet at 6:30 tonight. So they'll be at the rink, signing autographs and saying hi and shaking babies and that kind of stuff.
Shaking hands.
Oh, shaking hands. Sorry.
Not shaking babies. We just want to be clear about that.
Not shaking babies.
Shaking hands. Kissing babies.
So we are going to also, this is nice. Tracy and Raymond are going to be on the show, but we're actually going to be live on location I am also going to be there because it's food. So usually Amanda goes and does the live on location while I stay in the studio.
Yeah.
But because we are going to eat on the show, we are going to actually go to Raymond's restaurant, and we're going to sit there, and we are going to get some buffet, I believe, and we are going to have lots of food, and we are going to have some ice cream, soft ice cream.
Nice. And actually, you are, like, when you're going to a restaurant, I know you take this very seriously because you are a bearded fellow. You got to make sure that you're not going to get food caught in your beard. And not a lot of people know this, but you actually take a lot of time and attention to get ready.
Of course.
To go to a restaurant by going outside and trimming that.
I'll be doing that. Yeah, I'll be doing that.
You know what I mean? So it's nice. It's very thoughtful of you. Whereabouts is the restaurant? Is it right on the highway?
It's right on the highway. It's the northbound highway.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So
that's awesome.
And it's right on the highway. And it's a cool place. It's, they're newer owners, so that's why we want to feature them on the show.
Yep.
Introduce them, and introduce their personalities and who they are, the people behind the big sign there that says Raymond's Restaurant, who actually runs this place, because they're sweethearts. Nice. They are sweethearts. So
that's great.
People deserve to know who they are, and they deserve to be known as well. So
that's awesome. That is awesome.
That's what we're going to be doing. Oh, wait. You're going to be on the show. I've got this. And the Highway 533 band, best band ever. Yeah. So, and Alex is going to be there. So people show up.
I'll be back.
You weren't able to make last week's show, which is, made us sad. Yeah. And I couldn't get your guts to work. So
that's okay.
So we'll just save those for another time.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're going to be back on the show. I think you're going to.
Yep. I'll be back. Yep. I'll be back.
Be happy.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. And everyone's got big Thanksgiving plans. I'm sure folks are. I've stopped eating now. I'm preparing for turkey and ham on Sunday. I figure if I just stop now, I better bring us some food. No kidding, right?
I'll bring you food. Jason, I'll bring you food. No problem.
Would be nice. We're going to be driving past that restaurant on Saturday. We should stop and eat before we go and eat.
Oh, good idea. Right? Stop and eat before you go. Absolutely.
I had an experience. I'll tell you this very briefly. I had an experience. I went and saw a friend of mine years ago in Vancouver. I landed on Thanksgiving Sunday. We were young. we're hanging out, we went out for dinner, like we went to the keg, like we had steak and food, right? Not anticipating that when we got back to go and visit her parents, her grandma made Thanksgiving dinner for everybody. And out of an effort to not be rude,
yeah, you went to the bathroom.
I ate a second meal.
Yeah,
and I've never felt like that before in my life. It was the plane ride home was slower because I was so full of turkey. Because I had a meal when I got there and then went and did it again. It was like I've never done that before. I don't recommend it. So make sure you're very clear this weekend, folks. Safety first. Don't snack if you if you think there's a chance, or don't go to the keg. Don't go and have a steak dinner before you go to Thanksgiving dinner. It didn't. I didn't feel very good for a couple days.
I think I have done that a couple times.
Yeah.
But I did it knowing I was going to have a big meal after. I had a big meal before, and then I went, that was good. Now I get to have another one.
Yeah, now I'm going to do it again.
It's too much. It's too much. But you know what they say about your eyes? Eyes are big, and more than what your stomach can actually handle. Yeah. Yeah. So
it turns out you can handle a lot. You can handle the keg, apparently, and a whole grandma cooked meal. So
yeah.
Thanksgiving stories.
Well, that's great. So I've had a lot of fun today. I'm looking forward to, this weekend and having a good time. And I hope you guys have a great Thanksgiving weekend as well.
Yeah, we will. We've got lots of people, lots of family, lots of friends coming. So it's going to be a good time. Hopefully everyone out there has got somewhere to be. If not, apparently you can just come here. I think even Annalisa put it on Facebook. Sometimes we just throw the doors open and you just never know who's going to come by with like a salad and hang out.
So are we doing a special Thanksgiving Connecting Claresholm on Thanksgiving Day?
Yeah, we'll just do
people
it live.
Can just join us here. We'll eat from the table.
From the table.
We'll eat. I'm coming over. We're gonna
have a whole. Yeah. Why not?
Everybody just tune in and we'll all eat together.
Yeah, wouldn't that be something? I'm sure that's probably never been done. So I think
it's a good idea, but it's not going to happen.
No, not in practice. No, not a good call.
Yeah.
That brings us to the top of our hour, my friend. Another fun show. Thank you very much. Folks, have a great long weekend. Don't go to school on Monday, kids. Or work if you have to work on Monday. I'm sorry. But if you don't, enjoy the day. Just lie around and have turkey sandwiches.
Turkey soup day.
100%. And if on Tuesday, you're like, I think I could eat another meal. You know where you can go? The Soup Bowl, 11:30, the community center. I was there last Tuesday. They had an amazing meal. They are doing awesome. They're just doing great. And it's such a cool atmosphere. They've got people streaming in about 11:30 for about an hour and a half. So whenever you get there, there's always going to be a place. There's always someone to hang out and talk to. And it's such a great, and it's taken off well beyond their expectations. So we had them on the show a few months ago and they weren't sure, kind of like, this is new. And this town has embraced it. And I encourage you to continue to do that. If you haven't been to the Soup Bowl, it doesn't matter when you go, what Tuesday, it's going to be awesome food. It's going to be great company. So go and check those guys out as well.
Good stuff. Okay.
Cool.
Well, have a good weekend, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow on,
you got it.
Not Connecting Claresholm. Good morning, Nathan
Live.
But we'll see you next week for Connecting Claresholm.
You got it. Have a good weekend, folks. See ya.